Happy Monday. Welcome to Team W Online, the Melanated Way. I am Linda. That is Abby. We're always catching up. I'm not even going to say that anymore. I'm just going to say we're covering.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Exactly. Life happens. We got stuff going on, but we love 90 Days and we love doing our show when we love our viewers. So we are on season 12, episode 4, Forsaking All Others. And Abby, overall thoughts of this episode?
Again, we continue this journey into Middle America, but this title is particularly good. It applied to almost every single one of the couples, right?
Absolutely. And I was telling Abby, you guys, like, I don't think I realized that I don't really know America. Like, I was like, is this just a reality show? And this is why everything seems so, like, unbelievable. Like, Shay's the prize. This fool over here has got, like, red, white, and blue, everything from up and down. Then this one over here is praying in tongues that no one is hearing and understand. Like, there's so much going on that it seems like, are you guys doing this because it's a reality show, or is this really what America's like? And then I told Abby that I went to Buc-ee's, and Canadians, I'll tell you, you don't know what I'm talking about because I had never heard of it, but I started hearing about it, so I was like, yeah, let me go check. It is a gas station. But it's like a gas station, met Walmart, met a restaurant, met, like, I don't know. They make brisket in the middle of the store. They make their own they make their own nuts, candy nuts. There's this like chant thing they do when you buy a brisket. And then over here, beef jerky. They have like 500 gas station units. You guys, it's huge. Like, I spent an hour there and I couldn't believe they sell socks, the high roofs, high lighting, like you're in Vegas. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. So we'll get to it, but like when Razit gets to Alabama, when what's his face, Mito gets to New Orleans, like, I get it. I get it. I get what you're like. Oh, wow. Wow.
Oh my goodness, this is hilarious because there's a Buc-ee's right up the street from my mom's house. And when I see other people, like, especially like on TikTok, when I see people discover it and explore it and they're so mind blown by it, it is hilarious.
I did a whole video because you know what, you guys? You know how you can get a grocery cart at the grocery store? You get a grocery cart at the gas station. And you can pile up. It is like nothing I've ever seen before. Where was it? Jocelyn was asking. It was in Texas. It was in Texas. I just mind blown, you guys. And they have a mascot with the beaver, and the beaver came out, and I was like a fan. I started screaming and took a picture with the beaver. I was like,
next you'll be singing the song.
All right, let me stop. Bucky the Beaver and Linda Entry, yes. You guys got to follow my social medias. You're missing out on all the crazy content on my personal page. That being said, let's get started with Mallory and Razit in Alabama. Yes. Okay. They're speeding off to the airport and they're running late and they get pulled over by police and get a speeding ticket, which I think is interesting because they're leaving the country. So, like, is it going to matter for them? Maybe, maybe not. But they make it to the airport on time and they have 4 flights to get to Huntsville, Alabama. So they're leaving Marmaris to Istanbul, Istanbul to Paris, Paris to DC, DC to Huntsville. And so that's going to be a long journey for them. And you're covering a lot of different time zones, right? Just to get to Huntsville. And one of the things that I thought I would start with you, Abby, with is this envelope. So apparently they have this envelope that's sealed that they get from the U.S. Embassy when they're leaving, and only customs when they arrive in America are allowed to open it. I wanted to know what that's about, because I think this is the first time I'm hearing about this.
Yeah, they wanna make sure that nothing inside gets tampered with. So it's gonna have a copy of his visa, a copy of medical exam, and then there's also a fee that you have to pay on arrival to the United States. I think it's $120. So all the information is inside of that folder. If it is opened before you get there, they will not accept it.
And they keep all that information and it gets filed where?
It goes into your USCIS file and your State Department file to show that you made a lawful entry during the required time period so that when you file your request for residency, which is also called your green card,
Mhm.
so all that information is in place. And if
Got it.
there's any irregularities about it, it will come back to bite you. Maybe not immediately, but it will come back to bite you at some point. So you need to do everything right and not try to just slide by.
Gotcha. Elvid, hello. Hey, Raydella. So once they reach Huntsville and they have to go through immigration, she really wants to go through with him because she feels like he's not going to understand everything and she wants to make sure that he's okay. But it turns out that he makes it through on his own before her as the American resident or citizen.
Hmm.
And so they make it to Alabama. I thought this was a fun little time where he goes to carry her out of the airport as if he's like carrying her through the threshold of America, and then he sits her down on a bench and then says, "Oh, my back." Super hilarious. Um, and then this is where you guys was my first. Just I guess it's cute, right? Because it's his first time in America. But their friend Michaela pulls up in what I said the most American car I've ever seen. There were flags flying everywhere, USA written all over the car in red, white, and blue. Um, One thing said back to back World War champs in red, white, and blue on the car. And it was just there was a lot going on, you guys. There was a lot going on. I don't even know what that means, and I hope it's not what I think it means because that is just so in poor taste. And then TLC. So I want you to picture this because even if you don't watch the show, you really are gonna understand what I'm saying. So the backdrop is everything American memorabilia. Michaela's in, cowboy hat, overall shorts, cowboy boots. Everything's flagged out, and Receipt is just arrived from Turkey. Okay. The song that they're playing in the background, you guys, is "This Love Is Going to Kill Me." Shade level that TLC is on.
Yeah. So
Did
the
you want to?
back-to-back World War, yeah, the back-to-back World War champs, it does mean exactly what you think it is. And here is one of those times where I realized that America has seeped into me despite my like attempts to be a good person. Because when she pulled up and it said back-to-back World War champs, I laughed. And the reason why I laughed is because it reminded me of when I was in Hungary for the first time. And I did not like the concept of a country being on the other side of World War One or World War Two hadn't really settled with me. Like it didn't. And on paper, I could answer questions about it if I was having a test. But in reality, I didn't react to it
Mm,
strongly. You know what I mean? So
mm.
we're in Hungary and we were having a tour of this particular mansion. And the lady explains that a bomb was dropped a few miles away, but it didn't go off. And everybody was very excited because it didn't destroy this beautiful mansion. And my dumbass was like, who dropped a bomb?
Oh,
Who dropped
yeah,
like, because it hadn't like, it wasn't like completely with me that I was in a country that was on the other side of World War One or two.
mm-hmm.
This particular bomb was during World War II. So anyway, she pulled up and I saw that. I screamed, I laughed, and then I was like, we are so disconnected from harm.
It's something because I was like, does that? No, she can't mean. Joslo said, "Oh my God, she went all out, decorated the car to heaven." She said it was World War One and World War Two back to back. Oh yeah, she did say back to back wins. That part was crazy. Um, and then this other thing that I laughed at, because so I had Chick-fil-A for the first time, and don't come for me. Don't come for me. This is just my personal experience. The office that I work at, they love Chick-fil-A. They can have Chick-fil-A all day, every day, all day, every day. Love Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A. And it's about the sauces and the sauces and more sauces and more sauces. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. So every time like we're ordering breakfast, yeah, you guys go ahead. It's cool. Uh I don't know. But they're gonna take receipt once he gets settled to Chick-fil-A. He's gonna love it, she said, and she kept saying it's hello, hello. When she meant hello, and I was like, "Are you sure? Are you just making that up?" Do you like Chick-fil-A, Abby?
I do, but you know what? I'm still chasing my very first chicken biscuit ever.
Mm,
Um, Unlike most kids, most American kids, I did not grow up eating very much fast food. We actually like ate dinner at home. And
mhm.
so I remember the first time I had a chicken biscuit from Chick-fil-A, I was in high school, which is like not normal for people my age. I was in high school and it would crumbled in my hand and it was so good. And like the jelly that was on top of it was just melting just right. And I haven't had one that good since.
Jazza says our little city just got a Chick-fil-A. I don't get it. It's okay, nothing special. Girl, I don't get it either. I don't get it either. And maybe it's, I don't know. I don't get it, but it's a staple in American culture. It's a big thing. Everyone goes for it, and people like go crazy over it.
I think if you're used to home cooked food, it's harder for you to get excited about Chick-fil-A. But for some people who are mostly eating home cooked, mostly eating fast food, it is better than other fast food.
Hmm.
I mean, because think about what the rest of us are, I mean, the rest of America's eating like McDonald's, Taco Bell, like, Chick-fil-A is leaps and bounds above that.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess. They're driving home, and people are honking because the flags. I don't know if it said honk if you're American. I don't know. I didn't see that, but
It
people were
doesn't
just
have to
were honking for no reason.
because of the American flag.
It,
Linda doesn't understand.
is that what you guys are taught? When you see the flag, you honk your horn?
Yes, you acknowledge it. Especially like I grew up on mostly military bases. If you see that flag, you stand at attention. You hear reveille, you stand at attention. You hear taps, you stand at attention. Indoctrination from a very young age.
Hmm. Yeah, well, people were honking. They were honking, and he receipt was like, "Oh, they're welcoming me to America," which I mean, I guess it's very patriotic.
Oh, this is so good.
And
I love
then
this so much.
then they were showing him that there were sex shops like all over the place, and he wants to check one out, and then he starts laughing and says America is very crazy. And if you look at it from like an outside perspective, it's very eye-opening. There's so many things that are just so normal in America that are not really normal other places, and that's why foreigners are always so fascinated by it all. It's like a
Hmm.
like I was telling Abby offline, and I don't care what your politics are, okay? I'm just saying that I was surprised when I was watching the clips for the celebration of America's 250th birthday that they had motorcycle people like jumping through hoops, and they like y'all just celebrate different. That's all. Just celebrate.
Well, I mean, that in particular is a little bit different, but I will say, like, being a patriot you have to reject it. Like otherwise it's in you. It really does seep in you. I love watching changing of the guards when I go to other countries. And
Mhm.
it is one of the things that brings out the patriot in me because not everyone takes their changing of the guard very seriously. But if you go to Arlington Cemetery and watch changing of the guard, like if somebody's talking, that officer will stop and call them out. I don't care if it's a baby, you
Mm.
know? But then, like in Greece, I'm watching the changing of the guard, and their feet are all loose. They're not landing their steps at the same time. And like, it's just like, it brings it out in me. And sometimes you don't even realize it that you're being American. Because I'm over
Mm.
there watching their changing of the guard. It's their country. They do whatever they want. And I'm like, look at them. They aren't even stepping in time.
I mean, I guess also too that shows why, or America is considered such a military force, right? Because
Right.
it's ingrained and part of the culture. The other thing I thought was interesting in Huntsville, Alabama, is there's no. She said it's a small town. So Mallory says where she lives is a small town, but there was literally no one outside. It's the middle of the day, and just like Razit said, it looked like an abandoned city. There, like that's your downtown. There was no one outside. Um, and then he's worried. He's like, I'm gonna have a hard time adjusting to your culture. He already misses Turkey. He just landed. He's scared that he's not gonna be accepted there because he's Turkish. And those are all valid
Hmm.
concerns. Valid concerns. Hey, Becca.
I mean, also valid, Becca. Uh, wow, y'all sound like snobby. Okay. Somebody joined at the wrong time when I was being patriotic, I suppose. That's all right.
I'm fine.
So, yeah, it's one of the things that I try to tell if my person is petitioning for someone who's out of the country and they've never been to the US, I do try to tell them, take stock of what area you're moving into because the people who are petitioning for you are not always living in a big city.
Hmm.
But the immigrant, where they're coming from, they usually live in a place, even if it's not a big city, they usually live in a place where they have stores they can walk to right around them because, their neighbors will be operating stores right from their garages a lot of times
Hmm.
and they have activity right around them and there are things they can walk to, whereas here most things in most places you have to drive to. We don't have reliable public transportation in most parts of the United States. And
Hmm.
so I try to tell them, like, take stock of the area that you're moving to because it could be a huge culture shock, and I don't want to scare anybody, but that culture shock has driven people into being mentally out of sorts. So it's good to, I think that what you should do when you're talking to your partner and you're FaceTiming or video chatting, you should ask them to go outside and show what exactly is around the house that they're living in so you have a better idea of what that neighborhood looks like, and ask them to send you videos from the closest streets and shops so that you can be more culturally acclimated when you arrive, or maybe
Hmm.
even decide you just don't want to come there.
I mean, that's a good idea, and those are all valid points, especially because you will be leaving, all your friends, your family, and everything that you know, and starting anew, so to speak, and having to be comfortable wherever you're living because your only primary person for the first little while is going to be your fiance. And so
Hmm.
that's going to be important, right? Because that can affect your mental health, that you can feel isolated. There's a lot of things that go into it. So I think it's really important to pay attention to, yeah, where are you gonna end up, and do you think you're gonna be comfortable living there? Um they get to the house, and it was a cute moment. She handed over a key and said, it was my house, but now it's our house. As soon as he opens the door and unlocks it for the first time, he asked her to take off her shoes, which I thought was very cute. They have a first house kiss, and then and you guys, I love dogs. I love a dog. I love a good dog. I want myself a dog one day when I have a house. But 4 dogs? 4? And I'm noticing that, and I'm not gonna say anything because I love dogs, and I know that, I love dogs, you guys. I'm just asking a question. 4 dogs in the house, on the bed? 4? And not little dogs, like mid-sized dogs. 4? So, receipts like, do these dogs stay outside? They can't sleep in the bed with us, but then when he gets a tour of the house, you see that there's little steps to get onto the bed, so they will be sleeping in the bed. He gets to the bathroom tour and he's asking if she has a bidet, and they have a whole conversation about that. And it's very common out, especially in the Euros. It's very common, you guys. A bidet is very common. It's just not common in the West, but it's a very common thing. So when he was confused, like, where's the bidet? It's because that's what he's used to.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls out his suitcases. The first thing he pulls out is he bought a stuffy for the non-existent baby that they're about to have, but the first baby. And he also bought like a little sweater. And this is where I said, clearly she has not watched our show. Okay, you guys, how do you get engaged? How do you allow someone to pack up their whole entire life, leave a country, and not have a conversation about children, but you're engaged? So it's clear he wants children. The first things that he brought out, and he's like, this is for our first baby, and not just one baby, the first baby, is the toy and the clothing that he's picked out for his future baby with her. She doesn't know if she wants kids. And guess what? She hasn't talked to him about it. And I literally said, OMG, what? How do you not have that conversation? How do you not have that conversation, you guys, knowing the things that I've told you about talking to your significant other before you get in a serious committed relationship with them? How do you not have a conversation about children? Because you know what? You either want children or you don't want children. That's it. And if you don't want children, you shouldn't be forced to have children, because that's not fair to you. It's not fair to your future children. And it's quite honestly not fair to your partner either.
Mm-hmm.
You need to let that person go be with someone who wants to have children.
Right.
You're on the fence. Say you're on the fence. But if your partner is like ready now and you don't know if you're ever going to be ready, then you need to have that conversation. But to not have that conversation at all is mind blowing to me. What are your thoughts, Abby?
The confusing thing to me is that when you're dating someone in person, you can be distracted from major conversations because you're doing things together, like you're going to the movies, you're hanging out with friends, like you're doing activities. But when you're in a long distance relationship, all you have is conversations between you. You're not doing activities together. So I don't understand how you get 9 months, a year deep into an online relationship and you've had zero conversations about children, because like, what else are you doing? What else are you talking about?
That part. And you guys, oftentimes I do think it's because you're worried, especially as women, to say, hey, I don't want to have children. Worried what that man's going to think. But you need to be honest with yourself and honest with your partner, because you're going to be too far in, and then what? Not on the same page. It's not going to last. Here's what two things are going to happen. One, the person that wants children and then says, marry someone that doesn't want children, the person that wants children is going to resent you at some point. They're going to be looking at you. They're going to be outside looking at people and their babies and their strollers and looking at you and start resenting you because you're not having the baby that they've always wanted. Or you're going to be 10 years deep in your relationship thinking, okay, you know what? Everything's great. And then that partner is going to turn around and have a baby outside of the marriage because that's what they've always wanted. So have the conversations. Okay.
Oh, I wanted
So,
to say one more thing about the timing. Sorry. Um, in my
oh,
opinion, trying to have a baby right this moment is ridiculous because, like, if she was to get pregnant now, they would be out of income from some period of time because he can't work for a while before they get married, before they file his paperwork. So, like, the time, like, whether they have kids or not, this is not the right time financially.
but I don't think he sees that, and I know that you and I have talked about this a lot. Oftentimes, people think all Americans are rich. All Americans are rich. He sees her home that's now his home, and he is convinced in his mind that they're rich.
And what is it that they don't realize? I'm sorry, I'm my mouth is just marbles. But what it is that they don't realize, I think, is that in a lot of other countries, if you have a home, that means you either built it yourself or you paid for it yourself. You and your family got together and put it, it's yours. But here in the United States, if you see someone with a home, most likely it's owned by the bank.
Mm,
It's owned by the bank, and we're paying a monthly mortgage that is going to last 30, 40 years before it's paid off. So seeing someone with a home here does not mean they had the money to pay for that house.
yep. Becca says, especially because he's clearly wants them or expects them to have them. True. Um, and then also, she goes on to say, she'd have to stay home with the baby. The recruit time also matters, which is
Yes.
absolutely something to think about.
Hmm.
And so they're getting adjusted in the house. Mallory mentions her situationship. Brandon is coming by to pick up the dog camera that she borrowed, and Receipt loses it. He's upset about it. He's like, "This is my place. This is my house, and I am the boss." And again, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like, if you guys are still not on the same page about friendships and exes and situationships and all of that, I don't understand how you guys are engaged. What are you guys talking about? I have a feeling I know what's happening. There's little to no talking going on, which is a whole other thing. Because ladies, specifically, use your brains. I know we can get matized, but ending up with a baby and no plans and not speaking to your partner is outrageous to me. Because then you're with that person for the rest of your life and you guys don't even want the same things. And you maybe didn't want to have a baby and then you weren't thinking because you were so matized by it. And boom, now what? Think about it.
Hmm.
Do you want to add anything else before I move on?
No, let's go, Debbie.
Okay. Overall thoughts of Debbie and Mito.
What the heck is going on in every facet with what she thinks his relationship is, where he think he's living, with his hair, everything. Everything is just a mystery to me.
Agreed. I'm going to tell you guys this. Abby has called me out multiple times. I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like them together. I don't like his intentions. I think he's terrible. I think he's selfish. So I'm going to be speaking from that perspective. And just that's my disclaimer. I don't get it. Debbie and Mito, 5541 North Carolina. Not North Carolina, New Orleans.
New Orleans, one of my favorite cities, by the way.
Starts off like this. He doesn't know if he's even coming. You guys, last time I spoke about this, couldn't be me. I'm not driving to the airport to pick up some person that I don't know if he's going to be there or not going to be there because most airports are not that close and it's an effort to get there. So her sitting around for an hour and a half doing all that already rubbed me the wrong way. He thought he was playing a joke by saying that that's what Egyptians do. That's his way of joking. I don't believe it. I know plenty of Egyptians who just don't. That's not what they do. If they're coming, especially halfway across the world, they will let you know. You know when their flight is landing. So whatever he's doing is him alone. Okay. Devin, the daughter, comes. Devin is kind of like the chauffeur. She's the one that's she picks them up. They sit in the back like they're in an Uber, and she's asking questions. She's hoping that he's going to apologize for his poor behavior this whole way. But if you're coming with the poor behavior on your first day, you're setting the tone for the rest of this time. And if it was me, Abby, I would he would have been gone. He would have been gone the next day because I don't like any of this. So Devin, her daughter, is going to keep an eye out for her mom because she feels like love is blind. And Debbie, you are being blind in this situation. I actually don't even know what you see in him. I don't see the chemistry between you two. And I have questions, you guys. I really do. I don't see it. I just don't see it. They arrive at the apartment, and then, this because Debbie, y'all, she looks good for her age. She's 55 and she looks good. She looks good. But as soon as she got into the apartment, I said, "You are your age." She had like 5,000 decorative eggs everywhere, stuff just everywhere, knickknacks everywhere, knickknack. Here a knickknack, there a knickknack. It was just a lot of stuff. Then we find out that Devin also lives in the house. I don't know how we're on episode 4, and I'm just finding out that Devin actually lives in the house, and she sleeps on the couch. And it's a 1-bedroom and stuff. Yes, you guys, I'm so glad that they changed that situation because there were too many people in a 400 square foot apartment. No.
Mm-hmm.
Mito brags that even his house in Egypt is bigger than her apartment. And so now you have a small little ass apartment, 3 grown adults, one of them first time in America. And then we find out that Debbie's not lived with a man in over 20 years. And she's not had sex with a man in over 10 years. And don't think the disclaimers are going by me. Okay? They're not. She specifically said with a man both times. Didn't have to, but did.
Mm-hmm.
We find out that Mito's a virgin because of his Muslim faith. So he's waiting till marriage for sex. And I also put in there that he doesn't want her. That's what I don't think he wants Debbie. I think he wants to be a Hollywood star. And I also think he can't act. So there's a lot of things going on with these two that I'm just irritated by. The producers say, well, what are you going to do if you're not, compatible sexually with Debbie? Will you leave her? And he said he didn't know. Yes, because he doesn't want to be with her in the first place. So yes, he'll leave her. And that will be the excuse. This is like another Muhammad who married, what's her face? The nurse. And said,
Danielle.
Yeah, and then said he couldn't kiss her on their wedding day.
Mm-hmm.
This is reeking of that same situation.
Mm-hmm.
Is the way he piled up those pillows, the way he's like towards her, he's there because he wants to go to Hollywood, and this is his best bet and effort to get there. So they have 89 days to get married. She says to him, "Are you happy?" And he answers with the question, "Are you happy?" And she says, "Yes." She asks him again, "Are you happy?" And he says, "Sure." Sure. If that's not a red flag to you guys, the red flags are flagging all over the place.
Yeah.
Then this grown 55-year-old woman who has not had a conversation about converting to the Muslim faith, who is in her own city that she was born and raised in, is wearing a tank top in hot. If you've been to New Orleans, it's that muggy hot. She's wearing a tank top. So she's 55. So she's probably, having some of that menopausal situation going on as well. So she has earned to wear whatever she wants to wear, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, this man sees her. First of all, takes longer than her to get ready. Sees her and asks her to change her tank top to hide her shoulders. And you know what? She does it. What were your thoughts on that before I move on, Abby? Because I was like,
I mean, it just goes with everything else that we're seeing. Nothing's right. Like, I bet you can't think of one good thing to say about their relationship. Everything's bad. There's not one single solitary good thing that you can say. However, I was amused at the montage that they showed us of them being outside in New Orleans, and she's just taking pictures of him.
Listen, Jocelyn says he's the worst, and she's being gaslighted so much it's unbelievable. Hey,
Okay,
Olivia.
question.
Olivia,
Is
Olivia
is she really being gaslighted though? Because he's not pretending to love her.
okay.
He's
I'm
not
gonna
putting on any airs. He's not embracing her tightly. He didn't show up with oh, here's something that you really loved when you were in Egypt, so I brought some for you. He's not giving her any words or actions to make her believe that this is a true and real relationship. So is it gaslighting?
They're both pretending about something though. Olivia says his only concern is his acting career. I wish he wasn't so desperate. And she goes on to say he's a virgin, but Debbie was screaming that he slept with the Egyptian woman, so she knows he's lying. Jazla says he definitely doesn't want Debbie. Definitely does not want her.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so she changes, and he says the reason why he wants her to cover her shoulders is he's protecting her from the bad guys in the street that are looking at her. And then I'm confused. And here's the thing that I absolutely just don't like, you guys, is that what are we picking and choosing? Oh, I'm stuck here. Hold on. Jocelyn says he's not gaslighting her. You're right. Okay. What are we picking and choosing, you guys, when we're talking about faith and religion and all of that? Because I'm just trying to understand it. So he's saying that he's a virgin and he's waiting for marriage, all of that because of his Muslim culture. He is asking her to dress modestly because of his culture. And then, but then they're holding hands. They're walking down the street and they're holding hands. Is holding hands okay or is it not okay? Because we just saw in Morocco that they couldn't even touch. I don't get it. And then he's dancing away in the streets of New Orleans and spinning her around. So is he allowed to do that? Is that okay? Or is it not okay? Then, and I don't know why this is stuck. It's bugging me though. There. You can be whatever you want. Just be who you are. That's be whatever you want and whoever you want. And I'm just saying that the vibes I'm getting from him is that he is not even on the same team. He's not playing for the team that Debbie's looking for. That's the vibes I'm getting. So they're doing this whole tour of New Orleans and they're taking photo after photo after photo of Mito, and that's it because he wants photos for his acting Hollywood career. Literally said that. Literally said his social media is important for his Hollywood and acting career. So he wants her to take all these photos like she's his assistant.
Basically.
Asked her how far from New Orleans is Hollywood. And she's like, by car, it's a couple of days. And he says he can't wait to start his career. Can we live in Hollywood? And then here's where there's a little bit of gaslighting. This is where I would have seen it in this situation only so far. He says, I left my career. What career? You're supposed to be this big Egyptian actor. Because I looked you up on IMDb. I don't see a thing about you. I've just looked you. I Googled you. I don't see anything. So what shows have you been in? Okay. And if you were such a big Egyptian actor, You wouldn't need to use this K-1 visa process to get your foot in the door so you can go to Hollywood. You would have an agent who would book your deals, and the networks would fly you over, and you could stay for the duration of your so-called huge acting career. So stop playing with me. Then you said you left your home and your friends, and you left all of this to come to be with her. Oh, you didn't say that. You just said you left all of these things. And because you left those things, you want her to leave New Orleans, uproot, and move to Hollywood to support your Hollywood career. And we don't even know if you can act because you don't have any history of acting.
Yeah.
Debbie's 55 years old. She is not, I hope she's not gonna fall for the nonsense. You're 41 years old. Okay. You're not 30. You're not 25.
Yeah, I don't even know why she said she would think about it. But do you realize why he thought he was closer to Hollywood?
No.
Because the abbreviation for Louisiana is LA. So, like, you know how in a lot of places they just write city and country, city and
Yeah,
country. So I'm
yeah,
100% sure when he saw New Orleans, comma LA, he thought it
yeah.
was near Hollywood.
100% right. I bet you that you're absolutely right. Becca says he wants an agent, not a wife. Facts.
Yeah.
So Debbie's kind of getting concerned that everything is about his acting and not about them or their wedding. Debbie, you should be a lot concerned. You should have him pack up, especially after his temper tantrum, and just send him back. Because I am not getting any good vibes from him. And like, what are we doing? You already have a grown child. Why do you now still have to have two? I don't
I
get it.
don't know. The producers gave us that shot of Mito standing in the rain.
It was so ridiculous. Can you stand the rain? Oh my god. They're just
Look at
so
him
petty.
having a toddler tantrum.
They're so petty and I love it. So they're moving to a new apartment, which means it's going to be more expensive, a 2-bedroom, so all three of them can live and have more space. This fool doesn't help with anything, you guys. Not a thing. Not invested in anything. Has a whole temper tantrum. Why, you ask? Because he's 41, and age is just a number, but a temper tantrum as a grown ass man because you wanted Debbie to take a video and she's 55, and sometimes the older that you get, sometimes some people are just not great with technology, period. Some people don't live, like she said, she doesn't live her life online. Some of us do, some people don't. And that's okay. But for her to take a picture, it was actually a cute photo and not a video, they had a fight. According to him, she threw her phone in his face. According to her, which is more logical to me, is that he freaked out when he wanted to show that he was driving a truck in America to his social media following, and it was only a picture. He got pissed off. Okay, that's what they were fighting about, you guys. That was the fight. So he's not talking to her. He gets in the house. He says he needs to go rest. No, MF, you need to unbox some of these bags and boxes of this new apartment that I'm paying for, that you're living for free because you can't work yet. That's what you need to do. What you're not about to do is lie up in the bed and do nothing because you're having a full-on temper tantrum, but that's what he did. And when asked by the producers, like, what are you so mad about? He said he wanted a video of him driving the truck. She took a picture instead. And she didn't, quote, do what was required from her. Required is the word he used. And no, it's not lost in translation because we all know what this is. This is nonsense. He's using her. Like Becca said, he wants an agent. Okay. He's thinking that she is the ticket to Hollywood and she needs to get in line. And I don't like it. Abby?
That is what it is. I have nothing to add.
That's it. I'm moving on. No. Don't get sucked in. Don't get sucked into the foolishness. I don't care how old you are. Women, we are too women and beautiful to get sucked into some nonsense. Don't get sucked into nonsense. It's not worth it. Be single and happy and go travel with your friends. Go eat with your friends. Go drink with your friends. Don't bring some scrub into your house that is just going to bring you down for nothing. If he's not bringing
Exactly.
value to your life, then absolutely not. Do not add that person. Go get a dog.
Exactly. And
At
even
least
if
a
it's a
dog is loyal.
even if it's a lavender marriage, you can find someone who is more compatible with you that you're actually going to have fun with.
Yeah. Okay. Is it Aisha?
Aisha?
Is it Aisha?
I've been saying Aisha, but the way it's spelled, it could be Aisha or I
Yeah.
like all the ones that I know are are Aisha, but it could be Aisha. I haven't heard anybody say it.
No one's saying her name, which is weird to me. So, okay, let's go with Aisha. Aisha and Maxwell. This is another couple that I don't understand. And the bat, I know that we talk about it, and I know you guys know my faith is very important to me. But this is I don't know what her faith is important to her, and I'm not minimizing it. I just have never seen anything like this.
I'll be
And
minimizing it.
and the fact that there are certain things that I just think, like, who show me in the Bible where you saw this. Okay, so here I'm just gonna jump in. Aisha and Maxwell. So Aisha's with her friend Patricia, and they're in Alabama. And she's just really surprised that this K1 visa process didn't go the way she thought it was supposed to go. And she said, you know, it's a very long process, the application, and then you have to wait. And then they got a denial. And she's just shocked by it. And she feels she is at a crossroads and no answers here. And then I said, what are you talking about? There's no answers. You literally sat with a lawyer. The lawyer said he got denied. You can't do the K1 visa process. There might be some fraud there, but you can do the CR1, which is a spousal process, and you would have to start that. So, what crossroads are you at, Aisha?
She's at the
What?
crossroads of her brain not wanting to accept the things that people have told her.
But then to
She's
throw the lawyer, immigration attorney under the bus by saying the lawyer had no answers, there were
yeah,
no answers here. No, fool. We watched him sit you down and give you the answers. I don't like when people disrespect just because you don't want to hear it didn't mean you didn't get the answer.
right. But she's not we can tell as this conversation goes on that Aisha only hears what Aisha wants to hear. Because she started off saying, I like the fiance visa because it's quick. That's not true. She goes on to say, the attorney can't tell me what to do. That's not true. And then there'll be some more examples, like as we go on, where Aisha just hears what she wants to hear.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And you sound crazy to me because
And,
it's
and
like,
she does sound great, but moreover, it's weird to me that her friends are not willing to call her out. Well, her godbrother did kind of, but her godbrother did it a little bit more on the something might be wrong with Maxwell tip as opposed to um you didn't actually listen to what the attorney said. But I'll wait till we get to it and tell you another example of where I think she's just making something up.
yeah, I'm not into it. So then she is meeting with her friend Patricia, who is allegedly a prophetess and gets messages from God. And according to Aisha, everything that she prophesizes on comes to pass. But then you said that she prophesized about your Nigerian fiance and that whole visa process. So are you using the term always and everything loosely? Do I maybe not understand the meanings of those words? Because if indeed that is true, and if indeed she is an alleged, if she's a prophetess, then something went wrong there, in my opinion. Then Aisha goes on to say that she's such a great prophetess that she prophesies this show, meaning 90 Day Fiancé. Then they decide that they're going to start praying. And here's the part that first of all, what was even prayed? Did you hear, Patricia? What were you praying about exactly? Because I was just hearing a few words here and there. What were you praying about? And then Aisha speaking tongues, and I already told you guys, and you guys can look it up for yourself in the Bible, okay? If you are really given the gift, and if you believe in that, the gift of tongue, you only have the gift of tongue if someone else there can understand what you're saying. And then you want to say that the ducks what are we doing right now? What are we doing? The ducks understood. The ducks understood. And then I just wanted to say, just because you say you spoke it prophetically doesn't mean it is. Okay. Just because you said this person is a prophet doesn't make them a prophet. Okay. And you already disclaimed her in the eyes of me by saying that she always gets it right and everything comes to pass. And then clearly it doesn't, because you now have to go to Nigeria to see if you still want to marry this dude that you had a list that was like sky high, but then you circle back and you got all this stuff that you're trying to change about this man. Like, what is, y'all, I am confused. She says that her prophetess friend Patricia also said that it's vital that she goes to Nigeria, and nowhere unless they clipped it out of this little prayer that was not a prayer, it was just a bunch of words strung together, then I don't understand, because she never said it was vital for you to go.
She never said that. In fact, what she said was, Aisha asked her, do you think I should go visit him? And Patricia said, it might be a good idea for you guys to see each other face to face. And then she turns around and said, Patricia said it was vital that that I go to Nigeria and see him and we could talk about some things and spend some time together. And I was like, she didn't say that at all. And that was my other example of Aisha just making stuff up.
Yeah, I don't like it.
She decides what she wants to be true and then lies on God to say that that was the word from God, either directly to her or to another prophet.
And that's what I don't like. Go on. I'm disagreeing with you. I don't like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was pretty much what I was going to say, is that for someone who, I'm coming at this from the approach of, I don't believe in any of this stuff, right? So from that approach, I can still appreciate people who do believe and their belief makes sense to them, right? This does not make sense internally or externally. There's no way, I think, that you could be a smart person and also believe what she believes in the way that she's expressing it to us. I don't think that she has cognitive discernment if she wants us to believe the things that she's saying that are religion-based. Like, I literally don't think that she could possibly be functioning well in other aspects of her life if this is her belief system. Like, how could you ever choose a good partner when you're showing us that you can't even listen to the words other people are saying and interpret them correctly?
And what is it that you're believing? Because every day, everything that you say changes, even throughout the episode. You know, right, that we're watching, right? Like, don't tell me she always gets something, unless you're doing it for entertainment, which I don't know. Because here's the other thing. Jumping off of what Abby just said, she also says that she's a visionary. And I literally laughed out loud, because if you're a visionary and you see the full potential of everything, then first of all, if you're a visionary, what's all this talk about the profit and this and this? If you see the full vision of everything and the full potential of a situation, then what's the problem here? Why do you need the prophet to tell you to go to Nigeria? And why do you need the prophet to tell you that you're supposed to do a K1 visa, but no, now you're going to do the CR1 visa? Like, if you saw the vision and you're a visionary in the sense that you see visions, then should you not have seen this coming? She says she sees the full potential of Maxwell, her future fiance. I don't even, is he a fiance at this point? What is he? Her future husband, I'll say. But she wants him to change his hairline, get a fuller hairline. So she's bringing a bunch of products for that. She wants him to fix his skin. So she is bringing like retinol and all that stuff. And then says, that also pissed me off, she's bringing all this stuff because Nigeria doesn't have those. Girl, can you stop perpetuating the stereotype? Actually, stop it. Just stop it.
Yeah, that's crazy. I just watched.
If you go to Lagos is a major city. There are more people in Lagos than there are in Huntsville, Alabama. Okay, city life. Go and check it out.
Yeah,
go ahead.
And I just watched. I don't know if you guys follow any on Instagram, but she had a trip to Nigeria not that long ago. And before she left, she traveled around to different places, picking up different brands of makeup and skincare that is specifically, created in Nigeria and is more friendly to darker complexions. So I would actually trust the products they have there more than our standard products that we have here that tend to be attuned to paler skin.
Hey, Basula. Hey, girl, hey.
But this is, and I'm a person who loves to give someone, like, if I'm dating you, I'm going to give you a facial at some point. I love to just do the massage and the aromatherapy, everything involved. And even to me, this was offensive.
Yeah, all of it. Build a man, Joslo said. That's exactly what she's trying to do. That's exactly what she's trying to do. So she wants him to have a fuller hairline. She wants to fix his skin. She wants him to fix his teeth. And this is the part that, you guys, I mean, if you're going to be judgy like that about your partner, just like, what's the saying? Like, just throwing stones in the glass house. You shouldn't do that, right? Because it's going to crack. Mm-hmm. She is on the video conferences. She is video conferencing with him. At the end of the call, she tells him to go do his push-ups, make sure he's putting the sunscreen on every couple of hours, where I don't know if that's like a whole colorism thing, because he's in Nigeria. His skin is just fine in that Nigerian sun. And then at the end tells him to go get his body together. And I said, but what, girl, if the tables were turned and he said that to you, what would you have said? Because,
yeah, this has nothing to do with Maxwell and everything to do with the fact that she just wants a man. He just happened to be standing at the right place at the right time, or he happened to be the one to answer a message. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the first person she messaged with on whatever dating app she was on that she found him. I would not be surprised that she was just going to make a relationship happen come hell or high water.
Can you imagine if he had a list of improvements for her? That part. Yeah, and Becca's saying what you're saying. It's kind of wild how she's putting all of her insecurities on Maxwell.
Yeah. But you know what? This is one of those situations where I know that USCIS looks at the marriage process as one that's supposed to be, quote unquote, for love, but this is one of those situations where I feel like both people can get what they're coming into the relationship for without there being any love there, and nobody's wrong.
Interesting. Do you want to add anything else before I move on to Paula and Thomas?
Let's go, Thomas and Paula.
Overall thoughts on their segment?
Thanks, universe.
Yeah, thanks, universe. They are in Los Angeles, well, Long Beach specifically. And she's very happy to be in Southern California. And thanks to the universe. And he hates that because he feels like he's done all the work, the application process, getting her here, carrying her luggage, all the things that he's done to make this happen. He feels like she should be grateful to him and not the universe. And she's like, well, I manifested this. And she manifested a gringo boyfriend, and the universe gave her a gringo husband. Like, you guys, I'm not making this up. I'm not this season. I'm not making I'm thoroughly entertained. Don't get me wrong. Like, they are hitting every single component of a reality show. I just have questions about some of the things that we're talking about, but I sit here thoroughly entertained, like literally,
Right.
literally laughing.
Yeah.
Irritated, but laughing.
I mean, this seems like a little irritation that he's having, but it's going to become a bigger issue. So,
oh, yeah, absolutely.
yeah, there needs to be some kind of resolve about it, because if she's someone who's okay with thinking about cosmic forces and thinking cosmic forces, and he really is bothered by it, it's going to be an issue. It happens to me all the time. I just don't say anything because I don't care. Like, I don't know. Like, I will stay up all night long preparing for a trial. And then if we win, my clients will be thanking God, and I'm just standing there like a stick figure. And I don't go, thank me, don't thank God. Like, I don't care. It doesn't bother me, but it bothers him.
It does bother him. It bothers him a lot. And so she goes on to say the universe has, and her manifestations have given her more than she's imagined. And she just loves LA. And then this is where I laughed out loud, because LA does get a bad rep. Los Angeles gets a bad rep for these things, but they are all true. So she's a vegan, and she's like, it's so easy to be a vegan in LA. I laugh. And the part that I laughed the hardest, you guys, is that she said, and it's affordable. Are you talking about the same Los Angeles, California?
Yeah, I was like, no, roll that back. Roll that back. Nobody in the United States thinks that California is affordable.
Not Los Angeles.
Especially not Southern California. But even up in Northern California, in the Arcadia area, that area is still more expensive than the majority of the rest of the states, because they have the great Pacific Northwest coastline and all of that. Like, nobody thinks California is affordable.
I was like, are you crazy? Do you know that go and look at the gas prices in SoCal, NoCal, all of California. Look at gas prices in California and every other state. And then you tell me what's affordable and not affordable. Do you guys have gas tax? Because that's a thing in California. Okay. Go look at home prices.
Well, that makes sense, maybe. Becca said maybe she was trying to say that the vegan food is cheaper.
That is not true. Irwan, you're gonna get okay.
Well, maybe. Okay. It's not true. It's not true, but maybe her comparison of being able to get the same kind of vegan meals where she is, as opposed to, maybe her comparison is what's making her feel that way. Not because it's actually like, no. It's not true, but maybe where she's been previously that had vegan food, the comparison's off. See, I'm still willing to give Paula the benefit of the doubt in some way.
No, she landed and it's talking nonsense day one. Yes, Becca, $10 strawberries. $10 strawberries. $10. $10. No.
Yeah, I don't think you'd ever catch me at Erewhon.
Her little vegan food is going to be way more expensive, and she's going to have a reality. And if everything was so cheap in Los Angeles, Long Beach specifically, where they are, then why are they living in a shoebox? Which is okay. They're so cheap.
My man has camping furniture.
Is this an apartment studio? What is that? What, like, is it a studio?
It's not a studio, because it had like a separate area where the kitchen was. I mean, I guess some studios are like that, but he seemed very resistant to buying any furniture. He didn't say it was a financial issue, so I have no idea what's going on. It's like, is he an extreme minimalist?
I need to know what's happening. First of all, that apartment is too small for two people. Two grown people are not going to be able to live there. Second of all, just men in general, I need you to know that women are going to want closet space. Okay, so you all need to give up the biggest closet space to your woman. Period. Full stop. That shouldn't even be a conversation. So for you to give her the hallway closet or whatever that was with still your stuff in it, knowing that you so called were preparing this whole time for her arrival, was blowing my mind. Second of all, if money is not an object, why are you guys living in a hot box? It just, what's happening here? And you have this fold away table that looks like it's like $5.99, and you put a little, table cover over it, but you have no chairs, and she's supposed to sit on a box. Is she supposed to be comfortable when it's that time of the month and she has to sit on some bricks? I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, what's happening here? And then the bed is a couch, but a couch, which is a foldaway, which is fun. I just want to know what is happening. If you're a minimalist, then you need to tell all of us that that's what you're doing. If this is a budget thing, then that's understandable because California is expensive. I just need to understand because it's a bit confusing.
Right. And the biggest thing here is that Paula said that the last time she visited, he promised that he was going to get a table and a bed. And so that's the biggest thing, is that she had an expectation that you agreed to, and then you didn't do it. You're trying to talk to her about why you don't need it. Well, then you should have never agreed to it.
Becca, don't get me started. Oh my God, for real though, Linda, I thought of you when he was talking about his bed as a couch and knowing he's putting his outside clothes on the comforter all day, girl. And then I was trying to figure out what that wrapped up, rolled up towel was that he put underneath him. Like, what? I have questions, you guys. I have a lot of questions, and none of them are being answered. Paula's not impressed either. She said, like, what is this? Is it inspired by a gypsy movement, camping, a tribe? And I laughed because I get it, Paula. I don't understand what's happening either. She said that this is a single man house, which it is. It's giving frat boy, bachelor pad situation. It's not giving, hey, I'm about to get married in 90 days and this is our first home together. It's not giving that vibe, to me at least. And then here's where I was like, this is how I feel about all the things, you guys. You have to have conversations. So they're arguing about the closet space. They're arguing about the space, all of that. But she's now introduced something that it's a big deal. This is like money, okay? Because guess what? You can't survive in life without money, and you can't survive in life without sustenance and food. And every person decides for themselves what they want to eat because it's their bodies and they can eat whatever they want or not want. That's my take on it. Here's what happened. Paula goes to get some water out of the fridge. She sees that there is meat in the fridge. It's vacuum packed, but it's in the fridge nonetheless. Okay. And she freaks out. She's not okay with this. She doesn't want Thomas to have meat anywhere in the house. He's not allowed to cook meat in the apartment, and she doesn't want to see meat anywhere. He has one of those dehydrators that he makes jerky, like Bucky's jerky, but he makes them. Yes. No to that too. And she's adamant about it because she's a vegan. Now, I said, there's no way that you're going to tell me what I'm about to do food-wise. I didn't tell you to be a vegan and you didn't tell me to be a meat eater. How did you not have that discussion? If she is extreme vegan where she doesn't want to see you eat meat, did you have that conversation like, hey, I'm not going to eat meat anymore? And then that's something that you concluded together and you're fine with that? Or did you not have the conversation? You both went on your merry way and now it's going to be a thing, because it's going to be a thing. He clearly is a meat eater. Clearly. What are your thoughts, Abby?
They had an advantage that the other couples that we see don't have, which is that she did have a visitor's visa and was able to come and stay with him for some time before they applied for the K. And yet they're having the same issues as people who only saw each other once in the other country, and that doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't. It doesn't. What are you guys talking about? What are you talking about? I mean, I know I talk a lot, and my mom tells me I need to talk a little bit less, but I would rather over communicate than not communicate at all. Because I
Right.
don't want you to have surprises, and I don't want to have a surprise on my end either. We
Right.
can't say we didn't talk about it because we surely did. We
Right.
surely
And
did.
this is one that's not that difficult. Anytime that they were on a phone call, she could have said, "Show me the table you bought. Show me the bed you bought."
Do you want to add anything else? Because that's all I have for them. They can
Let's
have
go. Shay and Annabelle.
thoughts.
That breakfast looked disgusting.
Oh my god, everything about this is just you guys. What's happening? What's happening in Paducah? I know someone's gonna correct me. I know I'm saying it wrong.
Paducah.
Paducah. What's happening in Paducah, Kentucky? Why is Shay considered the prize? What is I just okay. I mean, okay. Can I just say one more thing? Because you guys know I get sidetracked. They had a minimal part, but it just stood out to me. You are in Paducah, Kentucky. You know that they don't film in Paducah very often, right? So if you're going to be on an international TV show, and you know you're going to be on an international TV show, and you know that filming for the day is like going to be a whole day, I would think that you would put your best foot forward, wouldn't you? Like, you know that TV is like forever, and you know, like 90-day fans are like hardcore. So when Lindsay was saying goodbye and there was this big hole in her sweater, I'm not saying you have to buy a new sweater, but can you just put a little patch on that or something? Why is there a hole in your sweater? And then you're talking crazy to the immigrant about how she is a mail-in bride. Like, I'm looking at your sweater and you're judging her and I'm judging you then. Because, like, if we're going to judge about stupid shit that's not true, then maybe put your best foot forward.
Linda, that was her
Yes.
best foot. She woke up and she put on her favorite sweater, nay, her lucky sweater, because that's the sweater she wanted to be in for this filming. And I really don't know how else to break this down to you. I don't. You just grow up and you know trailer park ideology. I don't know how to make it. I don't know how to make this real to you. Shay and trailer park ideology, high up there on the desirable scale. I know this, and I don't even live in that part of America.
Yeah, it's confusing. Annabelle's cleaning the tub and cleaning the house because she likes a clean house, and there's just dog hair everywhere, just like the other place. Dog hair everywhere. She's not into it. But Shay stops her because he wants to make her breakfast in bed. And I don't, is that a thing still, you guys? You guys are eating in your beds with all the crumbs. She said that's not a thing in the Philippines. Is it a thing still?
I mean, I guess it's a thing if you actually get up early enough to do it, but if somebody's already up, dressed, and starting their business for the day, then you didn't make it early enough. You got to try again the next day. You can't make them get back in bed.
Right. She was just cleaning that dirty tub, and now you're putting her like, I just.
And then the bread was and then the breakfast was nasty. Like, if you want me to come stop what I'm doing to come eat your breakfast, then at least make something good. This was like something my fourth grader would have made for me on Mother's Day.
It really just was not like, what was that? What was that? You guys, what was it? The processed old jiffy type bread, and you just threw the jam in the middle. You didn't hit the corners. If you're gonna give you some nastiness, like, at least make it look good. No, and I didn't see one seasoning on that. There was no salt or pepper on those eggs. It was just like bleh. Okay. Yeah, he wants to make her breakfast in bed, and it was toast and eggs, and she took one bite, and you could tell she didn't like it. She said, I can't eat in the bed, so thank you, let's go. Meanwhile, you know what Shay's thinking about, Abby? He's thinking about the competition between his daughter and his fiance, and I think it's disgusting because he likes it. He mentions it and he likes it. Ew. They're gonna go downtown Paducah to check out the city and check out downtown. And it's literally concrete and sand everywhere. And when I say Shay did not stop talking, he doesn't stop talking, you guys. He just talks, talks, talks. See how I'm talking so much? You're like, oh my gosh, can she breathe? Because she is still talking. That's what he's talking about. He's talking about the concrete, the sand, something about 1937 and Market Square, oh, the whole thing. And Annabelle is like, he talks too much. She wants him to just be quiet for a minute. And I get that. Like, give her a beat. What are you talking about all the time? It's Market Square. And again, same question I had earlier when I was in, where was I?
Huntsville?
Huntsville. Where is everyone? This is your downtown. Where is everyone? The Shay told us that his friends just bought the restaurant that they went into. There was no one in that restaurant. And yes, there would be no one in it because they're filming, but like, where's everyone? Okay. A Market Square. Now, this might be a hard topic to talk about, but I do want to address it a little bit. And I want to address it because I think that it's important. I want to address obesity in America. It's a thing, and it's a big thing, and I feel like it's getting worse and worse. And it's not because Americans are lazy. It's because all the food is overprocessed here. And you think you're having an apple, but that apple that you bought at the grocery store that is extra red is because it's extra processed so that it lasts longer and it stays like it's fresh, but it's all fake that you're eating. So you think you're eating healthy, but it's filled with chemicals that are not supposed to be in there so that it can last longer and that the companies can make more money because it sits there longer. And I'm just worried because instead of addressing obesity in America, which will cut your life in half, we are addressing it with pharmaceuticals and get thin quick solutions, and none of that's going to work. And I'm just worried. I'm worried for people. So many people have diabetes and high blood pressure and heart issues and clogged arteries, and especially in minority communities where you also don't have access often to affordable, truly organic foods. Going to Erewhon and spending $30 on a natural smoothie because that $30 probably, like, can we address it? I'm concerned because I'm seeing a lot of this if this is middle America, when I'm watching, it's a thing and it's a big problem.
It is a big problem. And you mentioned a lot of different points about the food issues, but one other thing I want to mention too, hey Lori Stories, is I used to live in Southeast DC. If you guys are not familiar with DC, Southeast is the part that is where most Black people are concentrated nowadays. DC used to be a lot more Black, but in the area that I lived in, there was one grocery store. And when you go into that grocery store, I did not ever buy produce from there. Because I was lucky and I had a car and I had access to go other places, because the produce in that store is higher priced and lower quality. This is a national grocery chain that grades where it's going to send its fruit by the population that lives there. And they graded this particular grocery store to receive fruit that was of lower quality and had more defects in it. Because if I drive over to Northeast DC and go shopping in that same grocery store, the produce would be shiny, it would be turned the right way, and it would have much, much better quality. And it would be lower price. Same grocery store chain, same fruit, or same type of fruit, rather. And so, one of the things that I think people have a really hard time understanding about the United States, making this an even more difficult question, or more difficult topic, is that not only do we have issues with our food being processed and available, underlying every single thing that happens here is racism. Because there is no reason, there's no shopping pattern that justifies that situation that I just said happening in one chain in a grocery store. And I'm using that one chain as an example, but it happens in other facets of life as well. And until and unless people are willing to address racial inequality, we are not going to touch the surface of addressing every other inequality that happens here to have fresher food, to have quality, available, universal health care, to have universal daycare available, to have programs for mothers to receive maternal care. Like, none of those things are ever going to exist until white America agrees that Black Americans can also have it. Otherwise, you'll keep shooting your toe off because you don't want us to have anything.
I mean, everything that she just said is true. And, you know, I guess it circles back to my original hard question of obesity. If we're not going to address any of the things that Abby just talked about, then the obesity part is just the tip of the iceberg. And that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because here we are in 2026 and we're in America, we're still, and racism is really everywhere, but it just gets, it's so blatant in 2026
Well,
in the United
I would say yes, it's everywhere. Like, I've had racial encounters in other countries that I've been in, but the difference to me is that while I may have a racial encounter when I'm in Sweden, I would still have access to healthcare in the same way that other people have access to it. Maybe I'd be treated different by different doctors, but I still have that basic universal right. Here, our racism keeps us from making it a better country for everybody. That's what I think is different.
Okay. Let us know your thoughts, you guys. I just think that, yes, those are all things that we need to continue to talk about, and it needs to get better somehow, some way. And I mean, there's just so much, you guys. There's so much. There's so much. Bringing it back to Shay and Annabelle, they're meeting with Lindsay and Jeff, Shay's friends, and Jeff right off the bat is, I don't know, I just thought he was disrespectful right off the bat. Yes. And it may go into the racism that Abby was talking about, because where is this even coming about? Jeff said he thought that she was a mail order bride, and Annabelle's like, what are you talking about? We've been together for 5 years. Like, why are they saying that? And turns to Shay. And then Jeff goes on to say, well, for at least the last 4 years, the way Shay operates here, you would think he was single when he's in public. And I put, it's his actions. It's actions. And if you guys want to talk about gaslighting, the biggest gaslighting is coming from Shay in this conversation.
So, did you feel like Annabelle understood what he was saying? Because when that sentence came out, I was like, why isn't he be asking what that means? Maybe she didn't, maybe it went over her head kind of, because she was still in the, like, why did he say I was a mail order bride? But that sentence was really pivotal to me.
I think she understood perfectly. That's why she's like, why is he saying that? We've been together for 5 years. Why are they now still thinking that I'm some mail order bride when I've been with you for so long?
That's that was okay. Sorry to interrupt, but I was like, wow, he said that to her face.
His actions, Shay's actions is all we need to know in this situation. They think he's single because he's acting single, period, full stop. So Jeff goes on to say, hey, I don't know when I'm going to see you again, which also to me was very passive, like, hey, I'm not doing this, because they stayed for 5 minutes and they were out. But I love ya. Not sure I'm going to see ya, but hey, I love ya. You know, I got that black friend at home. And so they leave, and then Shay feels like he needs to tell Annabelle about his ex Nicole before Nicole outs him with his shady behavior. So he says this. He says, you know, remember Nicole? Remember my ex Nicole? Well, you know, she's going to come to you and she's going to say that I cheated with Angie. Annabelle looks him dead in his face and said, did you? Pause, silence. That's all you need to know, because yes, he did. He pauses and says no. Then here comes all the disclaimer, right? Because he's going to try to talk your face off so that he can try to convince you that what he's saying is true. Because he originally said, no, he didn't cheat, right? And we're all grown. We know what cheating is. He says, well, you know, I hung out with my friends at the lake, and it all depends how people perceive cheating, because people, who are these people, perceive cheating differently. Who are these people, Shay? So, you know, maybe if you dance with someone, you're having some drinks, you dance with someone, is that cheating? Maybe, you know, after you dance and, you know, that person kisses you on the cheek, is that cheating? Oh, but then, you know, maybe if you kiss them on the lips, you see how each stage is changing. You kiss them on the lips. Is that cheating? And then he was about to say something else. And then he stopped himself and said, what? You know, I just get flirty with people. Annabelle doesn't believe him for 1 minute. She's like, no, he had sex. You cheated on me, she says. I don't think I did, he said, in my opinion. I don't think I did? In my opinion. Do you see? That's true gaslighting. I don't think I did in my opinion. I mean, I don't think I did in my opinion. It all depends on, you know, everyone sees cheating differently. No, they don't. You know when you're cheating, and you know you cheated. And you're going to try to sit here and tell this beautiful woman that you don't think you did, in your opinion, and people look at cheating differently. Like, shut up. He says, quote, you guys, it's just fun. It's just fun. It's not cheating. It's just fun. She's mad. She said, you cheated on me. She calls him a liar. She is mad that she left her family to come to Timbuktu, and she thought she loved him and he loved her, and maybe there might not be a wedding because she doesn't want to be with a cheater. Abby?
I want more for Annabelle. I would understand if she decides to push through and stay. But I want more for her, and Shay is not honest, and he's dirty.
Yep.
So.
That's it. That's how I feel too. You guys, great show, great conversation. If you're watching the replay, definitely let us know your thoughts on some of the things that you saw in this episode, and we will definitely start a dialogue. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you later this week as we start. What are we starting, Abby?
Well, we started The Last Resort. We're going to continue Last Resort.
Girl, it must have been uneventful for you. No,
we'll
see you on Friday.
Okay, bye.
Bye, guys.